I've moved on to the next phase of the chicken coop puzzle, which is the floor. This is kind of an oddball shape. It's not a perfect square, even though the total structure is 4 feet by 4 feet. I have to make some cutouts in the corners. And not only do I have to make some cutouts in the corners, but here in the front, I have to make some cutouts for the ramp that's gonna lead the chickens up into their nice little home. So here's what I've done. I actually started by securing the middle piece. And the reason that I did that was because I wanted to make sure that my other boards, my edge boards, were supported on this board and this board, although that was less critical for this, so that I don't have any plywood just kind of hanging out over nothing. That's not a great structural practice. So I took a scrap piece that I had that was a little shorter than 48 inches and used it there. And now I'm getting ready to cut out this piece. And this is kind of a weird one because yes, it has a cutout for that corner, but over here it does something funky because I also have to accommodate this ramp. The chickens will be walking up into the coop through this hole in the floor. I do not trust myself to just kind of wing it in these scenarios. So I went ahead and drew it out. So up at the top there, we're gonna look at measuring from the right. We're gonna measure over 8 1/4 inches. And then it's gonna be about 5 inches down and 5 inches out to accommodate that corner, that cutout there. Then it's gonna come down the outside of the coop until it hits right here. Now that total length is actually going to be from the inside of that post to the inside of this post. It's going to be 38 inches, okay? So I'm going to cut this board that I went and got to 38 inches so it hits here, and then it goes up here, what did I say, 10.5, and then over 6.5, and then on up. Now, you might be asking, Erica, what about this little piece here? Well, I'm not worried about it. The chickens are never going to stand there. There's simply not enough room. Plus, when I cover the whole thing in the vinyl flooring covering, I can cut a little tail to cover that just for ease of cleaning if I decide to do that. But for now, let's focus on this fun little thingy. See if I can get it right. So first off, before you have a heart attack, make sure you have it in there right side up. And then we are looking pretty good. Very nice. Again, not worried about this. I can put a little strip of vinyl tail down there just to make sure that that's all good. But this is looking good. I'm going to go ahead and secure it. I'm actually switching up my screws depending on my application. So right now I'm using 1 1/4 just for this purpose. More than sufficient. I could probably get away with just 1-inch screws, but I have a ton of these, so I'm going to use them. Okay, let me acknowledge that I realize this is not 5/8, which I believe, if I'm not mistaken, is like the minimum for flooring or subflooring or whatever you want to call it. It's a chicken coop, people. It is an elevated chicken coop. It is not meant for human habitation. Chickens weigh about 3 pounds if you have a really big one. So cool your jets. It's all good. I am seeing that I do need to add a 2x4 across here because otherwise this piece, while it will be supported here, it will not be supported on these interior edges. And I don't much care for that. So I'm just going to go ahead and put a piece across there, and then I'll feel a lot happier about that. All right, the floor is all in place. I did have a little bit of a measurement oopsie over here, but it's not a big deal. It's not in a place where they're really going to be, walking. And again, when I put that vinyl flooring down, I can hide a multitude of sins with that. So now it's time for my helper to help me screw in this last piece of flooring. Yep. Oh, that's okay. Remember to stop before it gets too deep. Okay, go ahead. One more.
Apply pressure.
Yep. Ta-da! One more little tiny bit because it's still sticking up.
You don't want it to stick up.
No, because it'll put holes in the vinyl. There we go. That's looking pretty good. Good job. Okay, remember pressure. Go ahead. Oh, you're going to strip it if you do that. The second you hear that, you got to back off because it'll strip out the head. Okay, that's why you have to apply pressure. If you don't apply enough pressure, that happens.
Strips.
Yep.
Make sure you
There
fit it in correctly.
Good.
Push.
There. A little more.
That was kind of too much.
A little more.
Keep your hand off the trigger. It's kind of the same with guns.
That's right. Okay, good. All right, do that back one now. Good. Well done. A little tiny bit more, I think, in that one. That'll work. Good job.
Thank you.